Welcome back to the channel, y'all. So we actually do have an interesting update from Marco Hayatala himself. We briefly discussed his reunion with Tautia Tarunian, and now he's speaking out on some of the tensions that were going on during his time in Nightwish. So Marco was interviewed for a new article. Marco was asked if he would consider taking part in a reunion of the band's classical lineup, either for a tour or fresh material. He responded as follows. I would have to consider it, but I think that the organization there would have to be looked very carefully into, and some of it would have to be dismantled. Very interesting. Because the business side and how the people there work, they are one of the big reasons I left. So, what does Marco mean by that? He actually follows this up with the following. In all the bands that I've been in, I've found that I'm probably the most kind of courageous person there is. And therefore, also, I have the inner strength to be the most honest and most fair, and the one who upholds the justice between the people and taking care of everyone most. And that is something that I saw the last years were lacking. Marco continues, so these kinds of things would have to be taken care of. But I mean, Nightwish was a big part of my life, and I always backed up the music that we did because I love to do music that is versatile and ambitious with lots of atmospheres, from sensitive to soft into the big pounding heavy metal and all that. Marco continues, so musically I have no regrets at all. I'm happy and proud to have been part of it, but yeah, the organizational situation and the attitudes and who talks to whom and about what, those are the things that I would totally dismantle and make into a transparent situation. So if you guys have been following Marco, you'll know that he's been talking about some of the reasons that he left Nightwish, primarily the business side of things. He's never really gotten into sort of the personal things, if there were any, and I don't really assume there is, but I think as a result of Marco kind of jumping ship from Nightwish, there does seem to be a little bit of tension between him and the Nightwish camp because, to my knowledge, he has not really spoken to Tuomas. Maybe he has in private. Maybe they're just haven't really disclosed it. So what do you guys and gals think about the music industry as a whole? Do you think that Marco Hayatala is going to find fulfillment in his new projects where he can kind of do things more on his own terms? Or do you feel like eventually Marco will sort of face these same problems? So Nightwish is obviously a big responsibility. Marco Hayatala bared, a pretty large percentage of that, being sort of a co-songwriter, playing bass and doing vocals alongside Floor Jansen. I do believe that Marco will find some peace outside of Nightwish now that he's able to express himself a little more creatively and he's actually doing smaller touring circles. He's not going to be on the road quite as much. But at the same time, Marco's been keeping himself pretty busy. He's been working with Tautia Tarunian. He's been doing his own project. So what was the actual catalyst that caused Marco to jump ship from Nightwish? It doesn't seem to be a personal thing. As far as involving the other band members of Nightwish. Obviously, Marco was dealing with depression, which he discusses in this article. He was having anxiety. They've been putting him on and off different antidepressants and so on and so forth. But what is that shady business side of things that Marco is kind of hinting at, but he hasn't really disclosed? I find that very, very interesting, and hopefully Marco Hayatala will keep us updated. I would love to hear your all's thoughts and comments in the comment section below. We all know the music industry is full of snakes in the grass and all kinds of toxic people and backdoor dealings and rip-off artists. So it sounds like to me that Marco Hayatala has some grievances with maybe the management of Nightwish or the international promoters of Nightwish, perhaps the record label. So very interesting sort of, disclosure of, latent drama, I guess you could say, between Marco Hayatala and Nightwish. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. And thank you so much for subscribing. Please check out the heavy metal commentary playlist as well as all the other playlists on this channel. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one.